Hey guys, it's Katie. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome to the first TBR video of 2024 because we didn't do one for January because I was just kind of mood reading and reading a lot of specific things for videos. So I'm glad to be back. I love having a TBR even if I don't always stick to it. It's nice to have a cute little goal, and these videos are just so fun to film. So why not? Today, as you can see, I have the TBR jar in my hand with some TBR prompts. I did this video a few times last year and you guys really seem to enjoy it, so we're gonna be doing that again today. But let me know if you guys have any other ways or ideas of ways that you guys want me to pick my TBR, because I'm always open to options. I do kind of want to use this jar until we get to our last prompt, so whether that's me doing a specific video with it or just using it a few times this year and then doing your guys' other ideas throughout the rest of the year. I'm not really sure yet. I guess we'll have to see as the year goes and what other things I want to do. Obviously, I don't know yet. But today we are going to be using the TBR jar with prompts inside. If you've never watched one of these videos, basically self-explanatory. Pull a prompt out, read the prompt, and then I pick one book off of my lovely TBR cart. I also have a few books down below, if you can see those right there, but they're down there for a reason, and it's because I really don't want to read them. So we'll see. Maybe we'll be going down there, but cross my fingers that we're not. Let's go ahead and pick our first prompt. Prompt number 1, a standalone book. I'm also kind of wanting to read quite a few romances this month, so I feel like this is a good prompt for that, but especially because it's like the month of love, you know what I mean? Like, it's February, so I feel like that's very fitting. Also completely random, but I definitely forgot to put that book on there, so there that is. I have a feeling I will be picking that for something, hopefully. Crossing my fingers. Okay, let's see. The standalones that I do have on here, almost none of the fantasy books that I have are standalones. We love that for me. Great Gatsby, Little Fires Everywhere, 7 Days in June, Normal People, Archer's Voice, The 7-Year Slip. I'm kind of between Archer's Voice and Normal People. I have heard such mixed reviews about Normal People and it really intimidates me, so I don't really know, but I've heard nothing but great things about Archer's Voice and I've just never read it, but I've had it forever on my shelves. And I feel like this has been on so many monthly TBRs, but I feel like it's time to finally read this. And there's no better month than the month of love, so I feel like this will be perfect. By the way, the entire time I've been doing these videos, after I pick a prompt, it goes back in here so we don't get any repeats until we've done like all of them. Next up, the longest book I own. Wonderful. Low-key, just from looking at everything, it looks like The Final Offer by Lauren Asher, which is the 3rd book in the Dreamland Billionaire series. It looks like this is a pretty chunky gal. Let's see how many pages. Okay, this is 583. Let's go ahead and check some other books that I'm kind of curious about. Crooked Kingdom by Leigh Bardugo, 536. Renegades by Marissa Meyer, 552. Heir of Fire, Sarah J. Maas, 562. I feel like it is so easily The Final Offer by Lauren Asher. None of the other books even look remotely that big. Although, let me check this one. Nope, it's still The Final Offer. Let me just say I'm glad I didn't buy the Crescent City series yet, because that would have been bad. Prompt number 3, start a new series. Okay. Honestly, I think this one's gonna be pretty easy for me. I'm gonna go ahead and start the Chestnut Spring series by Elsie Silver. The first one in it is Flawless, so this is a 5-book cowboy romance series. You guys have probably heard a lot about it. If you haven't, a lot of people will be talking about it, and I really want to give it a chance and read it. I've just heard nothing but amazing things, and I want to be in my cowboy romance era, okay? So it's time. Okay, right now we have 3 romance. Let's go ahead and get some fantasy on here. 2-word title. Okay, so basically just something with 2 words in the title. You get it. The Hobbit, Killer Instincts, Crooked Kingdom, Ruthless Vows. Might be picking that one. Normal People, Magnolia Parks, Yours Truly, Book Lovers, Love Redesigned. I gotta go with Ruthless Vows, right? Like, I have literally been waiting to read this since I finished Divine Rivals, and this is actually the next book for my book club that I'm in, so perfect timing for this to be on my TBR because I was gonna be reading it anyways. I'm so excited to read this. If you don't know about this, it's basically just a very heavily romance-filled fantasy world, but it's not really that fantasy-esque. It's more like historical, and it's like during the time of a war with the gods. Like, I don't know. It is so good. If you have not read the series, highly recommend. The ending of the first one was literally insane. Let's pick prompt number 5. Okay, we got a book over 500 pages. My TBR this month literally hates me. Like, what does this jar have against me right now? I'm gonna be reading so many long books. Because we had to pick out the longest book on my TBR. We already checked out a lot of the books that were 500 pages and over. And I think Heir of Fire was, let's see again, I'm pretty sure it was. Yeah, it's 562 pages. This is the, I guess it depends on how you read it. This will be the 4th book that I read in the Throne of Glass series. But it's technically the 3rd, but also technically the 4th in a different way too. I don't really know. But I'm gonna be reading this. If you don't know anything about Throne of Glass, all I can tell you is Selena Sardothian is assassin and you follow her. And That's all I'll say. The last one, Crown of Midnight, left off on a crazy cliffhanger, and I cannot wait to devour this. Okay, we have 5 so far. Let's go ahead and pick out a 6th one and kind of see what happens and go from there. A book you can finish in a day. That's what I'm talking about. This is giving good karma right now. Thank you, jar. Not me talking to an inanimate object. Love that for me. I feel like my 2 biggest options would be Normal People by Sally Rooney or The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald. And I think I'm gonna go with Normal People just because this is a classic, and not that I don't want to read it, but it's just kind of a little bit more intimidating. And I don't know if I would get into it enough to be able to read it one day. I don't know. Classics just like scare me. So we're just gonna put that one back. I also think I could read Killer Instincts in one day because I almost read the first one of the Natural series in one day. I think we're gonna go with Normal People though, because I know for a fact I can read this in one day. It's only 273 pages, so under 300. The text isn't that small. I'm just kind of nervous because I've been putting this off just because it is very hit or miss for a lot of people. You either love it or you hate it, and I hope I love it. I don't really know. I'm really nervous to read this. But since it's short, I feel like this is definitely an easily bingeable book for me. Okay, I think we're gonna go ahead and cap it at 6 this month. Go ahead and literally cap it. Just because a lot of these are longer, and I'm gonna be wanting to read a lot of longer fantasy books too, because I'm hoping to continue more than just Heir of Fire and the Throne of Glass series this month too. And those are big boys. So Throne of Glass is just a lot of my TBR right now. So the next 2 books that would technically be on my TBR are just technically gonna be Throne of Glass books. I just don't have them yet because hopefully I'm getting them for my birthday, which is at the beginning of February. So if I don't get them for my birthday, I'll just go out and buy them. So it won't be that big of a deal. And not only do I have Throne of Glass to read, but I have 3 books that I'm going to be reading for a video that I don't know what they are yet, and they're obviously on my monthly TBR, but obviously I can't really talk about them yet. So that'll be a video that's coming out in February that I hope you guys are excited for. Okay, let's go ahead and go through the TBR one more time. Our first prompt was a standalone book, and I chose Archer's Voice by Mia Sheridan. The second prompt was the longest book I own, and I got the final author. The second prompt was the longest book I own, and it's the final author. I keep saying author. Why do I say that? The second prompt was the longest book I own, and I got the final offer by Lauren. The second prompt is the longest book I own, and I got the final offer by Lauren Asher. I'm actually really excited to read this. I've been putting this series off for a minute, but then I read the second one in December, and I really enjoyed it. So hopefully I like this one too. Our third one was to start a new series. I'm going to be starting the Chestnut Spring series with the first one, Flawless by Elsie Silver. And then I got a 2-word title, and of course I had to pick Ruthless Vows by Rebecca Ross. I am so excited. You guys have no idea, or maybe you do if you also read the first one and loved it. Then I got a book over 500 pages. I chose Heir of Fire, which is by Sarah J Maas, and this is the 4th book that I'm going to be reading in the Throne of Glass series. So excited to continue it. And then the last prompt we chose today, which was a book you can finish in a day. I chose Normal People by Sally Rooney, and hopefully I will finish this in a day, especially with a lot of the other bigger books I have on my TBR. And like I said, I already have as many Throne of Glass series books as I can read next month on my TBR that are possible, and then the 3 books for the other video that I don't know what they are yet, but I'm very excited. Let's go ahead and put all the prompts I use in this little Ziploc bag so we know not to use them for next time. And this is a look at our final TBR. I feel like it looks pretty good. We have a few books that I have been anticipating to read, a few books that I have had on my TBR for a minute, and I feel like we have a good little mixture of genres too, which is really nice. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to like, subscribe, all those YouTube things, and comment down below if you've read any of these books that I picked out for my TBR, or any books you want me to read, or if you have a book that you're most excited for me to read or want me to read in a reading vlog, anything of that sort. Also, any ideas for the TBR or any other book video ideas that you guys have, any ideas you got, I'll just go ahead and take those down below in the comments. If you want to keep up with more of my day-to-day life, go ahead and follow me on TikTok, Instagram, and Goodreads. I am on Goodreads way too much. It's kind of unhealthy. And yeah, other than that, I don't really have much else to say. I hope you guys like this video and are having a wonderful day, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys. Literally clowning. My hair's being so mean to me right now.